Okay, this is crazy, but there's a caribou. What a set of antlers on that thing. He's not too interested in me. Now, here's another really crazy thing. We are in Deadhorse. So we're in the middle of town. Oh, there's two more of them right behind me. Getting ready to walk across the street. That is just crazy. Fortunately, the mosquitoes are not nearly as bad here. There certainly are some. That looks like the bigger one. And these look like the smaller ones, so I'm going to try to drive over to where they are and get a little bit closer to look. So hopefully, the caribou. Okay, we're gonna see if we can get a really up close look at these caribou. That is so incredible. By the way, that we're at the Arctic Ocean. We are in Deadhorse. I'll get you a video of the sign and all that at some point later. But saw these caribou and just had to shoot it. Not shoot it with a gun, shoot it with a camera. Okay, we have arrived in Deadhorse. This is Deadhorse. We looked for a sign that said Deadhorse and couldn't find one. There's a sign up here that says Prudhoe Bay, which I'll show you in a minute. Anyway, let's talk about the day, and I'll probably video a little bit after this, but let's talk about the day. First, the scenery was just spectacular. We drove 493 miles and the scenery was spectacular. It took 15 hours to make this drive. Now look, it is now 9:30 and look where the sun is. I don't know that it really is. Somebody told me at the hotel in Fairbanks that it's not getting fully dark at night right now. And of course we're 500 miles farther north, so it may not get dark here tonight. We are staying, you see this sign here, Colville Brooks Range Store. This blue building right here, we're staying at the Brooks Camp, which is an oil field workers camp. There are no hotels up here. There are oil field worker camps, and that's where we're staying. It's rated a 4.7 out of 5, so we'll see what that's all about. I've already checked in, and then we came back out here, and so it's basically a dormitory. We're gonna be sleeping in bunk beds tonight. Anyway, so the drive itself was fantastic. You saw interestingly, someone told me the animals, we're gonna see more animals. Woo, this guy's loud. We're gonna see more animals the farther north we go. Well, that was the exact right truth. We saw muskox, we saw what I would call reindeer, what Holly's phone called red deer, and then we saw what I would call caribou and her phone called reindeer. So who knows what they are, doesn't really matter. They were beautiful, they were fun to see, and especially the muskox because it reminded me of when I was a kid. All right, so the trip itself was fantastic. The scenery was great. Let's talk about the road. The last 50 miles of the road was just like this. Couldn't have asked for better, fantastic, going across the tundra, flat, well-maintained, smooth, couldn't have been better. The rest of it was rough. We probably spent, on 3 different occasions, we followed a pilot car for 30 straight minutes. The last one for 35 minutes. I'm not exaggerating, I timed them. How long are we gonna follow this pilot car? And that's after we waited 15 or 20 minutes for the pilot car to show up in each case. So that's part of the reason for the 15 hours. We spent at least 2 hours, 2.5 hours, fiddling with road construction issues. If they make the roads like this, it'll be great. The roads were rough. When I checked in just a second ago, the lady that checked me in said they had a couple of customers today that checked in on bicycles and motorcycles that went down during their approach, their ride in, because of just the roads. I would not, I rode my motorcycle on the BDRs, and this would have been rough. There were some wet spots, there were some muddy spots, there were some spots that would have been really tough to stay on your motorcycle here. Even the Grenadier did fantastic. We'll get to that in a minute, but it was sliding around some. So the road's rough. It was fun. I mean, it was different. Let's talk about the Grenadier. First thing is, you can be proud of how dirty it is, or at least I can be proud of how dirty it is. That and most of that mud on the sides is from the last 100 miles. So for the last 50 miles, it was great roads. The 50 miles before that was when we got behind this pilot car for 35 minutes, and it was just muddy and dirty and nasty, and I can't wait to take it to the detail shop and hear what they have to say. Suspension, fantastic. Ride, great. Comfort, great. Biggest negative, besides the stupid nanny systems, range. So there were 2 gas stops on the way here over that 493 miles. If they had not been exactly where they were, and I say exactly, that's an exaggeration, I needed to fill up in both cases. I don't think I could have made it to the next one. Range is a real weakness with this machine, and somebody needs to develop an auxiliary gas tank, because it's just no way is this going to work in Africa, in Australia, in a place like that where you don't have gas stations all over the place, because you don't have gas stations all over the place here in Alaska. And so it just wasn't, you're worried the whole time. Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Now, obviously, I could have taken more gas cans than the ones I did. I didn't have to take them down, but range is a real issue. Anyway, so I'm going to try to find, this is, I'm going to drive down here. We're at the Arctic Ocean. I'm going to show you a Prudhoe Bay sign, because they call this place Deadhorse. They call it Prudhoe Bay. I think they call it Barrow also. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to take a couple more videos, and then we'll call it a day. Again, it's 10 o'clock at night. It doesn't look like it, and it doesn't feel like it, because it's so bright out here. But anyway, so I did find this sign, and it actually says Deadhorse. So you get 2 things: Arctic Ocean access restrictions. Private vehicles are prohibited on the Prudhoe Bay oil field, which is the only access route to the Arctic Ocean. Access to the oil field in the Arctic Ocean is available only through commercial tours, which we're not going to do, in Deadhorse. Call the Arctic Caribou Inn at blah blah blah, or the Prudhoe Bay Hotel. All right, so, and then that, if you see the water in the distance, and I'm going to drive up there, that is the Arctic Ocean, at least the bay here that is connected to the Arctic Ocean. Okay, this is the Arctic Ocean, or the bay. In front of there you see Prudhoe Bay Hotel. You see up at the top Brooks Camp, which is where we're staying. So there's the Arctic Ocean. I guess I could run. No, I'm not gonna run down there. I'll fall in and freeze to death or something like that. This place is so crazy, so interesting. I mean, this is not a town. This is an oil field. It's an industrial park. The road, I mean, this is Main Street, basically. And you're not going to believe, I'm going to video a little bit when we drive up to the place that we're staying tonight so you can see that, but the road's unbelievably bad. Okay, again, basically this is Main Street right here. This, if you can see that sign right there, it says the Aurora, and that is one of the quote-unquote high-end camps here. And then I'll drive you up to one you see, obviously everybody there is in a dirty truck, and they all have plug-ins for when they're here in the winter and they can keep their engine blocks warm. Okay, welcome to Main Street, Deadhorse, Alaska. There's that clang, by the way, if you heard it. I've heard it a couple more times. I thought it was my jack and shovel, and then I've decided since then that it's not. There's something else going on underneath the vehicle. Okay, the caribou are still out, so apparently this is their favorite feeding ground right here. Again, this is inland. The ocean is out there, but really cool to see the caribou slash reindeer slash whatever they are. Okay, this is the only gas station in town, and you got to hold your nose just right and punch the right buttons. I had to get lessons on how to buy gas, and we passed this bus, by the way, on the way here, and what are we there yet? Have no idea what that is, but anyway, this is self-service, and you got to hold your nose just right and snap your fingers and do all kinds, click your heels for the gas pumps to work. But thankfully I had somebody show me how to do it. The Colville gas station. Yeah, it was $7.10 for unleaded. It's not labeled up there, but anyway, and there's maybe where their gas comes from. I don't know. Do they refine it here? I doubt it. Okay, this is the building we're staying in. It's called the Brooks Camp, and when I checked in, they said it had 350 rooms. Parking's on the other side, but it's basically barracks or dormitories or whatever you want to call it. All right, well, that's it for today. I'm gonna, since I already shot GoPro footage today, I'm gonna try to shoot some drone footage tomorrow, and we'll include that in day 19 of the Grenadier 15,000 mile plus cross country trek. See you tomorrow.